Hello YouTubers, this is RobertBridges95 here with a quick update to, I don't know where I put my general, there it is, under my keyboard. Quick update to my Course of the Conclave build. I've had a couple people request a current version of it, so they can build it. And there's been some slight changes since my last video, but there's some stuff missing like scrying sheets, Mosswort Bridge, Feldar Sovereign, and Captain of the Watch still aren't in there. And then I'll convert over and I'll put my Into the North in and switch to full snow lands, just to have better card draw. And then I'm going to put in a Sarah Ascendant as well, and a Baneslayer Angel when I get them. Right now though, it's in really good form. So I'll tell you what cards will be swapped. Like I may get rid of I got rid of the Dryad Arbor. But I may get rid of my Riftstone Portal in place of something else, or maybe just get rid of a couple basics and replace them with the Mosswort and the Scrying Sheets. And like I'll take out my Juniper Order Ranger for the Feldar Sovereign and a couple other things for the Baneslayer and the Sarah Ascendant and whatnot. But anyway, so let's get to it. Here it is, Course of the Conclave. It is 4 colorless, 2 green and 2 white for a 3/8 legendary creature that when you cast a creature spell, you can tap additional mana and put that many +1/+1 counters on your creatures. So when you're doing all sorts of crazy stuff with this deck and you're getting all your little tokens and, well, not so much your tokens, but other creatures in general that you're actually casting, because you're not casting tokens, and I think it is, yeah, it's an additional cost to cast your creature. So you can't use do it for your tokens. But every other creature, I mean, your tokens will get pumped by Sigil Paladin and currently Sigil Juniper Order Ranger and Intangible Virtue and Beastmaster Ascension and a couple others. So I want to make this short and simple, and so let's get started. We'll start with the land base. We have things in the color palette. I took out the Elfane Palace. I may put it back in just because it fits in. We got a Celestia Sanctuary, a Arctic Flats. I left it in just because it fit in. A storage land. Got Salt Crescent Steppe, a Sun Petal Grove, Stirring Wildwood, and I've got in here. I've got 2 cycle lands. Got a Tranquil Thicket and a Secluded Steppe, and then also an Oran Reef of the Vastwood, which is awesome with your green creatures, and since there's some multicolored creatures, they get pumped too. A Windbrisk Heights, really cool card when you can bust out like an auto Chthon Worm without paying for it. And onto utility lands for all your tokens and whatnot, we have a Gavany Township. A Nantucket Monastery is a man land. It turns into a 4/4 when you have Threshold. A Reliquary Tower. Now bear in mind, everything in this deck is like $10 and below. Like Baneslayer Ranger's only $7 right now, so I'll put it in. And things are pretty cheap. Anyway, of course, every green-white deck should have a Krosan Verge. Really cool card. And here's Riftstone Portal. When it's in the graveyard, all your cards tap for green and white, which is cool, and I may leave it in to put the Mosswort Bridge and the Scrying Sheets in it. But and then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 basic forests, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 basic plains. So that's it for the mana base. Pretty simple, and everything is in keeping in the budget thing. Nothing in here is terribly expensive. I mean, Celestia Sanctuary is 50 cents. So let's get on to the artifacts. We have a Tormod Script for some graveyard hate, which is always good because there's always someone who's either running Recursion or a Lord of Extinction or is doing a bunch of dredge or whatnot with their libraries. And at least in my meta, the people who are doing that are kind of douchey, so, good card. Anyway, we've got a Sol Ring. Mimic Vat is great for other people's creatures if you need them, or copying your utility creatures. These 2 cards kind of go together to create the Sensei's Divining Atop effect. We've got a Dark Steel Pendant and a Seer's Sundial. Darksteel Pendant lets you look at the top card of your library and put it on the bottom of your library if you don't want it. And then Seer Sundial's got Landfall, and you pay 2 to draw a card. So, which is kind of cool. This is fitting. There's a lot of lifelink stuff that's going to be going into this, so this kind of works out good. We've got a Well of Lost Dreams that lets you pay X, or X is the life you've gained, or less to draw cards. With all the stuff that comes into play tapped. Amulet of Vigor, really good card, untaps everything, so you can use it right away. Equipment-wise, we have a Loxodon Warhammer, which has got lifelink and +3/+0, and no trample. I always get that confused with Behemoth Sledge for some reason. But yeah, really good card. And then we have 3 cards that give things either haste or make them unblockable, but makes them all have Shroud or Hexproof or whatever you want to call it. We got Swiftfoot Boots, Lightning Greaves, and Whisper Silk Cloak. Here's a really good equipment card. It's been very effective many times, destroying those pesky swords and whatnot. And then, yeah, so. Manriki Gusari lets you tap the creature you've equipped, and it destroys target equipment. Really, really, really good card. Manriki Gusari. I think it's from Saviors of Kamigawa? Yeah, it's the last block, Saviors. And then an underrated card, it's pretty much similar to Umezawa's Jit in Banshee's Blade. Really good card. And of course, Behemoth Sledge, or Lifelink, so, and Trample. So that's a really good card. One of my favorite cards in Shards Constructed. Or try the Alara block, especially in my Naya and Vamp decks. Anyway, let's go to multicolored cards. We'll start with the spells. We've got Wheel of Sun and Moon. Lets you, it says, if a card would be put into a enchanted player's graveyard from anywhere, instead that card is revealed and put at the bottom of that player's library. So if you're forced to, if something dies, or anything like that, or you play a spell, you can just kind of cycle it back. So, really useful card. Privileged Position, protects all your stuff. I recommend you either get Greater Oromancy or... crap, I can't remember the other one. That will protect this and itself, and basically create a loop effect where none of your stuff can be targeted. So... really hated card is Aura Shards, lets you destroy stuff. Here's a really fun card, Hunting Grounds. If you have 7 or more cards in your graveyard, whenever a player plays a spell, you can put a creature card from your hand into play without paying its casting cost. Hymn of Rebirth lets you take stuff from people's graveyards. Congregation at Dawn lets you set up 3 creatures. It lets you look for them and put them on top of your library in any order. I usually go for Sakura Tribe Elder, Yavimaya Elder, and, you know, Rampaging Baloths, or Emiria Angel, or Elvish Piper, or something like that, you know. Here's a really cool enchantment, Pollen Bright Wings, gives creatures flying, and whenever it does damage, put that many 1/1 sap-rolling tokens into play. For creatures, we got Loxodon Hierarch, Thessaly Pride Mage, Tolsimir Wolfblood gives green and white creatures +1/+1, and you can tap him to put a 2/2 wolf creature named Voja into play. Legendary wolf creature, so legendary rule applies. We got an Autochthon Worm, which is just a big beater. Juniborder Rager gives creatures +1/+1. I may take him out in favor of something else. Sigil Paladin does the same thing. And of course, we've got Reese the Redeemed that lets you put elf tokens into play. And his second ability is, I think you pay, yeah, 1, 2, hybrid green-white, and 4, and you can double all tokens in play. So, which is really, really cool in a token deck because you can make armies very fast. So let's go on to green, and on the same vein of doubling things. Since this is a budget deck, there is no doubling season because it's very expensive. But we have a Parallel Lives, which does pretty much the same thing. So, really good card. Leyline of Vitality gives all your creatures a little bit more in the butt. When creatures enter the battlefield, you gain 1 life. So, you know, with Feldar Sovereign, the game can get won pretty quick. I think that's why I haven't put it in yet. It's because Feldar Sovereign kind of makes it unfair, because when you reach that certain life point, you win. So, you know. Anyway, so we've got Cultivate and Kodama's Reach, both do the same thing. Both really cheap cards. Repopulate, I'll take out in favor of something else, but it'll let you put all creature cards from your graveyard back into your library. Awakening Zone, great with Parallel Lives out. Beastmaster Ascension, this card's a beast. Gives all your creatures +5/+5. Awesome card, should be in any green beatdown deck. I can't stress that enough. Really good card. A card that's flown under the radar for most people who probably haven't been playing as long as I have, and I just noticed it's actually horribly miscut. It's called Night Soil. It's from, I think it's Homelands? No, Alliances? Yeah, I don't know what it's from. It's old. You pay 0 and remove 2 creatures from target graveyard from the game, and put a 1/1 Saproling token into play. Get rid of people's graveyards, get Saproling tokens, get your army. And if you look, it's actually, let's see if I can, it's actually miscut. You can see right here, and right here. So, yeah, never noticed that. Anyway, on to the next card is Asceticism. Really, really, really good card. Helps protect things. One of the 2 planeswalkers in the deck is keeping in the budget theme, and considering the other 2 are not budget, a Garruk Wildspeaker. Untap 2 lands, put a beast into play, give everything overrun. With Beastmaster Ascension in play, Intangible Virtue, and other things that are making your creatures strong, +3/+3 and trample, just force your army down people's throats. Have a Rampaging Balos landfall ability, put a 4/4 beast token into play. Yeah. Every green deck should have one of these, or Gold Moldiah. Let you play an extra land every turn, play at the top of your library field. Really good card. Helps with the ramp. This one I will probably end up taking out. It's useful. It's mildly annoying though, because then you can't do things on your turn either. But a Dosin the Falling Leaf, it prevents people from playing spells that on anyone else's turn. But I may take it out because it makes things a little bit annoying, because you have to use your path on your turn or any other instance on your turn, and it, excuse me, kind of defeats the purpose. A Yavimaya Elder. I'm sorry, yeah, Yavimaya Elder. Pay 2 sack, draw a card, get 2 land. Elvish Piper, 1 green tap, creature into play. This card gets out of hand because of all the green permanents that are in play. Drove of Elves, power and toughness each equal to the amount of green permanents in play. Crazy insane. This one's cool, especially if Parallel Lives is out. And you can double it with Reach the Redeemed. You've got a Hornet Queen, put 4 Death Touch flying 1/1s into play. You get a 8 or 16, you know. So, of course, Sakura Tribe Elder. This one gets out of hand pretty quick too. Scoop Mob. And preventing you from having to sacrifice things. Another underrated card. Juru Preserver. Really good card. Should be in green decks. Especially if you play a lot of people that try and run Eldrazi. Prevents Annihilator. So, on to the white. We've got True Conviction. Condemn for those pesky generals. Steel Shaper's Gift to look. It's a equipment tutor. Ghostly Prison. Path to Exile, and it's actually the one from the, I like this art, the one from the Venser Koth deck. O-Ring. DOJ. Luminarch Ascension. I got an Ejani Goldmane. It's actually Korean, I believe. Thank you, Bicer, I think I got it from. Avatar and life gain and whatnot. Never a bad thing. Help make your small creatures stronger. Got a Veteran Armor, gives all creatures +0/+1. A token generator with a Maria Angel. Spurn Mage Apprentice. Return 2 cards from target player's graveyard to the hand, destroy target attacking creature. Really good card. It's actually reprinted for one of the Commander decks. Got a Sun Titan. Pretty self-explanatory. And I just noticed that stuff is kind of mixed up. I didn't sort it. Martial Coup. Really good card. It's also a good board wiper, if need be. Intangible Virtue. It's always good. Stormhurt, put X1, what is it? X1/1 white Pegasus creatures into play where X is your life total. If you can, it's 8 colorless, 2 green. If you can play this while you're at, like, I don't know, 60, 70 life, and with the next card, it'll be beastly as well. You'll have that many horse tokens, and then with this guy in play, your Geist Honored Monk, I mean, come on. Talk about beastly. So that's the current version. Like I said, I'm missing a couple things. And I don't remember who, I'll send this to him in a PM, but someone specifically asked me last night for it. So, comments, suggestions, bear in mind, this is a very budget deck. Keeping in the whole budget theme, this deck wouldn't cost anyone too terribly much to build at all. I should probably price it out to see how much it would cost to actually build this deck. But yeah, it works really, really, really well. I mean, when you have like a 40/40 Geist Honored Monk, or, you know, things like that, you taking things from people's graveyards, you know, it's fun. It's fun. Excuse me. It works it's pure beatdown fun. No real sneaky spell tricks or anything like that. My Riku of 2 Reflections deck that I'm building, I decided on Riku. We'll have all those kind of like sneaky little spells. It'll probably be mostly spells with, like, you know, some creatures like Consecrated Sphinx and Sphinx of Bethune and, you know, a couple other creatures. Anyway, so please rate, comment, and subscribe, and feel free to copy the deck. That's why I do these videos. Just copy them. Offer me suggestions, you know, give me your snark, whatever. So this is Robert Prison 95, and I will see you next time.